First 8 minutes is going to Ms Benham.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Chair. Thank you again, Minister. I want to talk about the Office for Women in Sport. The Office for Women in Sport and Recreation provided a representative voice for women in this field, and in particular oversaw the fair access policy which you spoke about in the presentation that's underpinned by the Gender Equality Act. This office appears to have now been axed in this budget. Why have you axed this office, and was this advice provided to you by a man?
Channeling your best, Bev.
Please repeat the question.
Well, was it, Minister?
The Office of Women in Sport isn't receiving funding in the budget, but what I will say is that the programs, particularly those key programs such as the fair access policy and the balance the board policies, they're going to be taken within the office, within the department, and continue to be delivered. It's just the office itself won't be funded this year.
So all of those measurable equitable access key points, they'll be all monitored within each organisation? Okay.
Correct. Can I just add to that though, it wasn't just the Office of Women in Sport that was providing programs that supported and encouraged women to participate. That's actually embedded in every program that is being delivered. There is priority given to disadvantaged cohorts and cohorts that have lower participation, and what we've been addressing there is the lower participation of women and girls, and also the need to have universal design principles when new facilities are being built or being upgraded. They're embedded. That's not part of the Office of Women.
The Change Our Game program, though, which was, that office, made huge steps in getting women and girls actively involved in sport. So is this a backwards step?
Well, you can look at it that way, or you can look at it how I do and say it's great that we've been able to embed these principles across all of our programs. And of course, we need to keep doing that. This is really important work.
Are women currently getting equal access to community sporting facilities? Because I know out in the region there's still a lot of work to be done, particularly with women's football. And we saw Erin Phillips yesterday enter the Hall of Fame after being told, like many of us, when we were 13, that we couldn't play anymore.
Yep.
There's still a lot of accessibility, I suppose.
There is,
problems,
and that's why the Fair Access Code is so important. And as of the end of last year, every local government has a fair access policy. That's important for a number of reasons. One, it's that universal design, making sure that these principles are embedded at the start of an infrastructure program, but also when you're upgrading, it's making sure that you're looking at it there as well. But it's also about making sure that women and girls have access to the good oval, the good time.
Correct. Yes.
This is the whole intent of it, is making clubs in themselves and local governments as the broader agency look at how clubs are operating in total, all of their operations. Are you giving the not so good outcomes to your less preferred? Do you want the seniors men's playing all of the good times and only on the good oval?
Well, not if they're losing and the women are winning.
Well, correct.
Would be my answer.
So getting that work embedded has been really important, and that'll continue to be worked on and monitored by Sport and Rec.
Great. Have you got a breakdown of the progress being made by each council over the last 5 years and how far they've come with access to...
I doubt that we would have that, but because we only had the fair access codes or policies at the end of last year. It's a pretty new program. What I can say for the last 5 years is that we have prioritised participation and involvement by women and girls across all of our programs, and we've certainly seen massive increases in participation numbers. And pride, club pride.
Absolutely. Can we have a look at some of the outcomes and the figures then where the Change Our Game has really had an impact? And I'm happy to take that on notice in the interest of time if possible. Yep. Great, thank you so much. As far as community sports infrastructure goes, the DJ Sir budget questionnaire, page 20, the Delivering Community Sports Infrastructure and Basketball Hubs program was slashed from 14.7 to just 1.4 with no explanatory note. Why is the funding for this program being cut by over 90% in 25-26?
I know that it was a
Delivering
time
community...
set. It was the funds were provided over a certain amount of time. That time came to an end and it's been extended for additional time.
At 1.4. So is that for the basketball high performance hubs?
I'm presuming so. What was your reference again? Sorry.
It's the DJ Serve budget questionnaire. It's page 20, third line down, which is delivering community sports infrastructure and basketball hubs. Original funding allocation for 24-25 was 14.7. Current expected funding for the same year, 14.7. Explanation of variance, NA.
The initial
And current expected funding allocation 25-26, 1.4.
So it was allocated 14 in...
From the Ministerial Department, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, my understanding is that was the initial allocation, and this is an ongoing allocation for this year. So that was the setup of the program, and this is just ongoing.
So which specific projects are originally included under the 24-25 allocation of that 14.7? Do you have a list of councils or projects?
We do have a list of projects. We can get that to you.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Will any of these projects now not proceed due to
No,
that reduction? They're all still going to go ahead?
correct.
And one, let me get to, despite the, and this is the same questionnaire, page 90, despite the Owen Labor government claiming continued support for the Get Active Kids voucher program through 26-27, key evaluation findings remain hidden from public view. Program delivery outcomes raise concern about effectiveness and questions remain about targeting, equity and transparency. Why is the 11.8 million being allocated for 25-26 but only 8.5 million in 26-27? Are you scaling back the program?
No.
Why the reduction?
So there's 15 million over 2 years that's been allocated to the program, and that's not a scaling back of the program at all.
What was that figure that you just gave then, sorry?
15 million over 2 years
Over the 2 years. So
in this year's budget.
You're looking at prior year budget.
we're looking at,
Apologies, Ms Benham.
yeah, the questionnaire.